Does it seem like fighting ongoing deterioration is a battle you'll never be done with? It might feel like a lot of work, but there are some real, life-changing rewards. Some are intangible, like having peace of mind knowing your family is well taken care of and safe. Some are measurable, like a wealth-building increase in your property value. The best part is, when you have the right budget and communication tools, you can keep deterioration at bay and maximize owner enjoyment at your association. So join the growing number of associations nationwide that are successfully offsetting deterioration with properly sized reserve funding. You can do it too.
So let's focus on the rewards for a couple minutes before I bring us into the summary. The rewards. Everyone paying their fair share, where the income offsets the cost. That's what the board members are supposed to do. And when this happens, there's an absence of special assessments because the funds are there. So the money is there, things get done, and it's just plain smoother. Board meetings run smoother. You can get the major providers of services, the roofer, the painter, the asphalt, the HVAC company. You know you've got the money ready to pay them. So call them and get the project done. Another thing is lower liability exposure. I'm not speaking as an attorney, but as a business owner, I know what liability is. And I know that when I'm taking good care of my business and serving my clients well, good things happen. And the same thing for board members. When you are following your instructions, when you're following the governing documents and the business judgment rule, that's always a great defense. That's when your liability is at its lowest. And you can sleep peacefully at night. You don't have to be worried about that disgruntled, well, there's always some disgruntled, but the 3 or 5% of disgruntled people at your association, will they really have some strong claims against you? The answer is no, because you're doing the right things. You'll always have a good defense. And then some real strong leverage, higher property values. I alluded to this earlier, but bottom line is curb appeal is real. So turn those hundreds of dollars of reserve funding into thousands of dollars in home values. The chart I'm showing, we showed in previous webinars, where it's percent funded along the horizontal axis and dollars per square foot in home value on the vertical axis. And what we found, we did a study on this back in about 2017, I think it was, found that home values in well-funded associations were 12.6% higher. Well, you think about your home value, and if you are stumbling along with not very many reserves, with a weak reserve fund, turning those hundreds of dollars of reserve funding into the reserve fund and having the cash there to take care of the property, that's how you turn hundreds into thousands. That's an incredible reward. At my association, again, we turned hundreds of dollars of reserve funding into thousands of dollars in home value. That's a great project to be able to do and maximize that. That's just plain good business sense. And then there's also the intangible of community spirit and the pride of ownership. When your place is well taken care of, there's less friction at board meetings, less tension. The budget is set. You have the money to do things, and the place looks sharp. There's less deferred maintenance, less problems with trying to skirt around. We don't have enough money for the roofing, so can we phase it? Or we don't have enough money, so we're going to have to look into a very expensive loan, where instead of getting interest, earning interest on your reserve fund, all of a sudden you're paying interest to the bank. It gets scary expensive. So you avoid all these workarounds when you have the cash to run the association. So let me start bringing this in for a landing here with a summary. What I've tried to make clear during this time together is that you face a formidable adversary, and that's ongoing deterioration. And you can't do anything about that. It will continue to deteriorate your association. But you have all the power you need. It's been given to you in the governing documents, and we just want to make sure that you are using the tools at your disposal, the budget and communication tools, to put up a good fight to offset that deterioration, maintain property values, maximize property values, and take care of the association, fulfilling your responsibility. In your communication, make sure you're making clear to the owners that this is just part of owning a home at the association. When you buy a car, you know you're going to have to put oil in it. you know you're going to have to put gasoline in. A sticker on the window says so. And in a community association home, there are some states that are now catching up. They have, like Florida, legislation that says you need to start funding reserves. Well, yeah, deterioration is real. You need to be catching up on that very delinquent bill and getting going on that. So there's a very real cost of deterioration, and you need to communicate that cost on an ongoing basis to the owners so they get on board. Now, you may say that's crazy, that's hard to do, who can do that? And from my point of view, it's very clear. About 30% of associations have a strong reserve fund. We see it. It's the 70% who make all the noise. They're the ones having the special assessments. They're the ones having the conflict. They're the ones who are the stereotypes. Well, 30% of associations are sitting with a smile on their face. And I hope 30% of my audience today here is saying, we're okay. We're doing okay. And that is the case here. So for the 70% of associations out there, please, I'm trying to encourage and equip you to have the tools so that you can join the 30%. So we together can change this 30% of associations that have a strong reserve fund into 40, into 50, into 60. And so in 5 or 10 years, the minority of associations, the outcasts, they're the ones that aren't funding reserves. And by golly, they've got the low property values to show for it. And with that, takes me to the end of my prepared content. For more resources, we have a very deep library of resources at Association Reserves, and that's reservestudy.com. It's compiled things over the years, and there's new articles that are hitting. One just came out on my LinkedIn channel, or the Association Reserves LinkedIn channel today. Always new stuff. And if you are more video type, we take these webinar videos, we break them down into, as you can see here, small segments and find some great content on an ongoing basis. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give them a like and get fed with great information. And the additional kind of information we provide, we created a tool for your use back in 2020. It's called UPlanet. It's our online reserve calculator. It's user-friendly. All calculations are per National Reserve Study standards, and it allows you to fiddle with the numbers in your reserve study, to change an expense, to change a life cycle, to change a funding plan and see what happens, to literally get your fingers into it. We want you to take ownership of your reserve study and have the tools, one more tool to see what can we do and know where your limitations are. We don't want you to make foolish mistakes. Now, the great thing is UPlanet is free with every completed Association Reserves report that we deliver for the remainder of that budget season. And it's a great tool that we offer to our clients. And if you're a reader, we have this book called Understanding Reserves. And you can get a free download of Chapter 1 from our website. If you like it, by all means, order a copy. It's there to help you make wise decisions about reserves. And another great resource that puts a smile on my face is a weekly 30-minute podcast that we started earlier this year. It's a podcast for boards called HOA Insights, Common Sense for Common Areas. New episodes drop every Monday to encourage and equip board members to have more success at their association. We have guest experts, we have regular co-hosts, we have featured board heroes that we profile. Listen or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on our YouTube channel, or you can go straight to the podcast homepage, which is www.hoainsights.org. That's a fun thing, and it's a great little resource you can fit in while you're driving or sitting and relaxing. Great resource for you on a weekly basis. And with that, I'll turn the microphone over to Paige, who will coordinate our Q&A time together.
At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.